Welcome to another edition of Brantim Live. I'm your co-host, Brandon E. Brooks.
And I'm Tim Ellican.
Tonight we have another fantastic guest from the world of Roswell and many other awesome films and movies that we'll talk about in a little bit. But Tim's going to do a little house cleaning about the Atlantic City Celebrity Convention.
Yeah, so we haven't done one of these in a little while. So there's been quite a few updates. Number one being, we signed California Dreams. They are going to be performing live at the kickoff party, the red carpet VIP kickoff party, which is going to sell out. So you have to get tickets in advance. They're likely not going to be able to get tickets to the red carpet party on the day. So you got to do it in advance. It's $250. It includes the VIP red carpet, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be a media scrum there. It's going to be right in the front of the building. ACX1 Studios on the pier. It's going to be gorgeous. Great celebrities there. It's you get to see them walk in, the whole 9 yards, and then California Dreams is going to perform way in the back of the building over the ocean. How awesome is that? And then after that, the VIP party on the fourth floor. So that's $250 to get into that. And so buy those now. But they'll also be performing at the convention for everybody else who's just doing the weekend or just doing Saturday. They will be there Saturday performing live as well. And we also announced Karen Parsons from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, played Hillary. Awesome guest. And Forrest Griffin. That's the last one. So Forrest Griffin, UFC light heavyweight champion, a former light heavyweight champion, Ultimate Fighter season 1 winner. Amazing dude, and really fun to be around. And he'll be doing a watch party. Another thing that's going to sell out real fast is very limited amount of seats. It's $100 that as well. You get to watch UFC 304 with him. If you get there at 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10, we'll be doing photographs with him. And you can have photographs with him in the belt, and then you get to hang out with him and watch the fights with the former UFC champion. How awesome is that? So that's cool. And that will be Saturday night as well. So anyway, that's really much all I got right now. The only updates that have changed since the last time we spoke.
Awesome. All right. Like you said, get your tickets at branham.realms.tv. And without further ado, this amazing actress and musician that'll be joining us tonight has been in a number of films that I've loved over the years and television shows that we'll talk about. I also enjoy some of her music. We'll talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk about her many hairstyles over the years that are pretty awesome. Yes. Without further ado, welcome to Branham Live, the amazing Majandra Delfino.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to just dive into the hairstyles.
There are, in doing the deep dive that I did, there are quite a few that I want to ask you about a little bit later.
I am so sorry, Brandon. Listen, no one is more horrified than me. So.
Hey, you rock a lot of them well. Some of them, it'll be interesting to see your answers about. But again, you're in character. You're always a different character. So that's a good thing.
I like that. Let's say it was for the characters, for sure.
There we go. So I want to start off real quick. So I saw Delfino immediately makes me think of origins, and there's Venezuelan in there. So can you speak a little bit about your origins?
Yes. So Delfino, those are the Italians, my dad's side of the family that moved to Venezuela, probably maybe 4 to 5 generations ago. And then my mother's side is Cubans via Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I always neglect her side, and she doesn't like that,
Now, have you ever met another Majandra?
Well, this is what's interesting. Majandra is short for Maria Alejandra, and Maria Alejandra is a very normal name. It's like being named like Marianne or Mary Alice, or it's, So I do meet a lot of Maria Alejandras, and I don't know. I haven't met a Majandra, and I don't think I want to.
Let's be a one of one.
Exciting.
Yes, absolutely. So how did you get started in this crazy business? That's always usually my first question, but I couldn't pass up the Majandra asking about that. So.
Yeah. Listen, as you shouldn't. It's quite a name, and I didn't name myself. It's tough. But I started. So I had a family that was very sort of not anti-entertainment industry or anti-creativity. My mom was a ballet dancer, so sure, they were open to it. But I basically snuck out when I was 11, during the day, and tried out for a singing group and got into the group. Had to come home and be like, I'm in a singing group by the, no joke, like the managers of Menudo. Okay.
Wow. Deep dive right there.
Seriously?
Deep dive.
Right? Big deep dive. And truly, my mom was like, I don't care. You know, she was like, that's even worse. But finally, she sort of relented. I think she felt it was like an I don't know, like extracurricular activity, or it would be great for my college application. I don't know, but she relented, let me do it. We were signed to Polygram and then Sony. And we were called China Doll, which like,
wow,
not okay these days. One Chinese singer amongst us. It was 4 girls, but we were China Doll. And you know, it was a different time. I was also 11. So
were any of you from China?
Not one. It was 3 Cubans and a Brit, you know.
Why not?
These were the adults. First they wanted to call us, oh my God, they wanted to call us Flower Power.
Oh,
Flower, okay.
I know. We were like, because we like wear bell bottoms and whatever. Anyway, so that during all of that, again, I answered, like me and 2 of the girls from the group went and did a like audition that was like a cattle call, truly. It was like 200 people standing in line in Miami to audition for the Babysitters Club. And I went and got called back. And then it kind of just all ended up with me being hired to be in this film called Zeus and Roxanne, about a dog and a dolphin.
yes, I remember that. Yes.
What an origin story, you know? Isn't that just...
Yes.
So that's how it all started. And then by then, my mom was like, oh, yeah, there we go.
There they are.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, just born for stardom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. So
I know. But I think by then my mom was like, oh, fine, whatever. Like, it's shot during the summer. It's shot in the Bahamas. It was like, you know, what are you going to do? And then everything kind of spiraled, and she's still trying to get me to quit. I mean, truly.
So your sister's in the business too, correct? Mariah?
Yeah, she is. And she's older than me. And she was the one who was always like, I want to act. And I was like the obnoxious little sister who didn't.
So she's older. Okay, gotcha.
Yes,
right.
She's 3.5 years older. And she always, you know, wants to make sure that half is in there. You know what I mean? To remind me who's boss. But yeah, she didn't do the sneaking out. And I did. And
so you were the rebel.
I guess, yeah.
Gotcha. So was there sibling rivalry at all, like because of between you two? Were you going for the same roles, or no? You're a little bit different age range, but
she didn't start till much later. Yeah, so she, you know, because we were in Miami, so we weren't like in LA or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So she was in college while I was like starting, and then she moved colleges to California to, you know, more local to be close to us. Once I was like on the Tony Danza show and like properly working and kind of stuck there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and she was always a lot, like she'd come to set, a lot of fun. Like it was always like it was a party, you know. And then I'd get invited to these things. I'd bring my sister, you know. Just like you know, open bar. A lot of fun.
Awesome. So Zeus and Roxanne, was that your first? Was that your movie there? Okay. Was that your first job, or is there an embarrassing commercial somewhere that a lot of people have? So
there was this commercial which started it all. That was for, I gotta get this right. It was the Stallone. I'm not kidding you. The Stallone psychic something. Sylvester Stallone's mother. I'm
yes.
Not kidding you. Was like a psychic.
Yes.
Psychic, whatever.
Yes, she was.
And
I just remember this. Wow.
I know, isn't that wild? And so that was the thing. That was like what the local Miami agency like sent me in to see if I like could hack it. And I not only booked it, But clearly,
Wow.
I mean,
So
like
was
I
it?
did the reenactment stuff.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of
Yeah. I
that they
totally
hired.
remember those now. Wow, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
So are you the so did you train traditionally as an actress? Like I know you started 11 with going out for different things or whatever, but did you do like the acting schools, or did you kind of learn as you went? How did that go for you?
Well, the singing, the label stuff was kind of created the whole foray into like
Yeah.
basically musical theater.
Mhm.
Then I went to New World School of the Arts, which was a school in Miami that's like very serious. And I went and I majored in musical theater. And then that kind of opened the whole acting world to me.
Hmm.
But it really was. And they were very anti-working while you were learning. They felt you should be educated first and then work. And I just kind of bagged the school and went and worked instead. So my training ended up just being like on set at a
Gotcha.
young age.
That's cool. Getting hands on. That's great. So we do have a lot of Roswell people watching right now. A lot of Roswell fans watching right now. So how did Roswell come about? Like how did you get?
Oh well, that was like it's so funny because I'm like that was so much later. I was so much older. I was 17. But yeah. So that was I'd done the Tony Danza show. Oh my God. I mean, you gotta love this. I was so like I'm an actor, and I was so adamant about not doing TV. So I passed on like so many things and was just like, no. And my agent at the time felt very bullish that was such a good script. And I was like, it's TV. Like, look at me.
It's so well written though. It is though.
I know. And then so I read it and then I was like, all right, fine. And I went in, auditioned, I was like, TV it is. And so I auditioned and went through the whole process and then ended up booking it. It was just so good. That was a time where people didn't do TV, in the sense.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that a lot.
I know. And it was truly like making a movie every week. I mean, the scripts were so good.
Look at that hair, dude.
Did you have to, Brandon? Just right out of the gate with the by the way, I cut those bangs myself. Do you guys remember Hackers?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Johnny Lee Miller. Yeah.
Okay, well,
absolutely.
That's what I was going for with that haircut.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I get that.
Yeah.
Makes total sense now. Yes.
Yeah, just a dead.
There's another one. Bam.
Oh,
look at that.
Goodness.
Awesome. Bandana and what is that? What is that? Like a
like a shell
tiara.
Yeah. Well, that was the uniform. But
yes.
It was a lot of hair.
So did you know when you were doing it that you were making something special? Like a lot of people don't, because you're so in it, you're young, and some people that I've interviewed have said they didn't enjoy it while they were younger because you're in it, you're in that Hollywood lifestyle, you're just moving, fast paced everything, and you look back and you realize like, wow, I was on something that's epic that 20 years later millions and millions of fans are still in love with. So did you realize, all of you, Jason, with Brendan, all of you guys, did you realize what you were doing at the time?
I don't know that I can't speak for anyone else, but I do feel like they probably do agree with me, where it was almost like, this is so cool. Why don't people care more? We were always kind of like the little show that could, and always like, it was like Buffy and Dawson's, and we were just always like kind of there under like a couple layers. And I always thought, this is just like so well written. Like, are we just watching this? Like, why isn't this landing with the gravitas that I at least felt it should, and get the sort of recognition that I felt Jason Tatum should get, and everybody. So I kind of had the opposite thing where I was like, guys, we're right here.
So I have a confession to make. And Brandon is the one who was well versed in Roswell. It was one of those shows that fell under the radar for me. I knew of the show. I did know of the show 100%. But for whatever reason, it just, there was 8 million other things that I was doing or watching at the time. So if I knew of, my point is I ended up binging the show. Once we signed you guys to the convention, I was like, I have to. I mean, after seeing the rabid, I mean, lovely, amazing fans that are just coming out of the woodwork, like, you know, buying up your photo ops and just, you know, helping us share your posts and creating posts for, you know, for you and Brendan and Jason and Nick, like, to promote you guys at our show. It's insane. I was like, dude, I gotta watch this show. So I binged, and I was like, nah, I'm probably not gonna dig it, because I'm like, you know, this came out back then. I don't know. I've watched 8 million things that, you know, is it gonna resonate now? And I was laughing out loud in moments. I was like, wow, this is actually like really well written. The first thing I noticed was how well written it was. Then I was like, wow, this cast is really well, this is well cast. This is, you know, this is really, you know, moments were really funny or really serious, or I don't know. I just, I fell in love with it. So I still have a little bit to go, but yeah, it still works now. It works now. That's the point. Because of their well writing. Yes.
Well, that's the thing. It's tough for me when I look back. It's tough for me to tell whether it does work or not. And that happens with a lot of things. Like I'll rewatch My So-Called Life and be like, like, is this? Yeah. I love this, but like, what a kid, you know, that age. But yeah, I mean, we are at least. I mean, yeah, I would say the majority of us are as rabid about it as the people that have always been so supportive that you know, you're coming in contact with, or like, that's like these are like our homies. Like because we're all like of the same mind. We love the same things, and we feel just so much love and like passion about Roswell. Yeah. And to me, it still holds up, which is I think that speaks volumes when you're in it, to feel that way, because usually it's the opposite, where you're like, oh, that day was kind of like a crap day for me, or, you know, things get kind of like tainted, if you will, based on your own experiences. And I have nothing but just like, oh, like, love that.
Brandon and I, like, one of our favorite actors of all time, William Sadler, was in that show, and he again, just watching that, I was like, wow, he was so good. He was so
There's
good.
so many people on that show. Or it's like,
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Totally.
So this I want to ask you about this, because we get this all the time too, especially even though you were the first two that were signed to this, but we see it all the time. Like, what made Michael and Maria like just be one of those it couples again that's still talked about today in like pop culture? Like, was there an instant chemistry with you and Brandon that just from the beginning? Did you have to build it? How did that work for Majandra and Brendan?
No, not instant chemistry at all. Maybe in the sense that we really, I mean, I don't think he even cared. I was so like, just so allergic to him immediately, which I think maybe that volumes, you know, it's like, but he, it's funny, we didn't really have that many scenes together at first. And I was like, this guy, because we really couldn't be more opposite. And even still, I mean, he's like from, you know, like the most northern, you know, he's from Canada. I'm like South America. Like, I mean, truly just everything is so off and different from, you know, each other. But once we started having these scenes together, it was really interesting, like how we both kind of like spoke the same language in timing, in just like inner thoughts of the character. There was just a real ease. And then, you know, it went just beautifully, but I was very upset at first. I had read the books and I saw that they were going to get together, and I went up to Jason Katims and I said, absolutely not. Like, I will not touch that man, that boy. Like, ugh, like so upset. And and then it was like, great. It was fantastic. And I do think that just the way that they were written is so special. And they were so, like, it was such an authentic young relationship. Yeah. It wasn't like this beautiful love story all the time. It was like the messiness that is, I think, so relatable.
Realness. There was a lot of like real moments. I mean, especially, well, again, I've only seen really the first season, but just watching how, like, you know, that love-hate type thing, but it was so, no, come here. Like, just let me, you know, I don't know. I thought the realness, just the realness, I thought was there more than anything else, really.
Yeah, it was always there, like on the page, where you're like, damn, they just really have these two characters down. And yeah, I think they really are like kind of that example of characters where like these people are just like like they're meant to be.
Yeah.
They're just like the soulmate thing or whatever, where despite their own stuff getting in the way, they just can't like fight destiny or whatever. And I mean, and the comedy, they gave him such great comedic stuff. Like, who knew that Brendan and I would be able to pull that off? And we tried. But it's so funny, like on the page.
There were a lot of funny moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, but it's been stated already, but I think the writing is, again, that's what drew me when I watched it, because I didn't watch many shows on that network back then, but my little brother was watching, and he was like, you know what, this is something you might dig. I mean, I was like, okay. I was kind of like Tim was, but then I watched it and it instantly drew me in, because again, it was young. I was around that age at the time, so it was one of those things that I was like, I was just starting to become a filmmaker myself and starting to learn the screenwriting craft.
Right.
And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, this is not the teeny bopper thing that is normal. This isn't 90210, or it's not. And again, nothing to do with any of those shows, but they're very specific with like kind of, this is High School Life, and this is Saved by the Bell, and this is California Dreams and 90210. And this one had the funny, but it also had the edginess to it. Yeah. And these were characters that I could kind of like, okay, I see like some of myself in Brendan, and I see a little shyness and kind of mysteriousness in Jason. And then even Colin was like, had the nerdier kind of vibe to him. And there was always these little things. And I was like, okay, I can kind of see myself. And like, again, totally different, but totally see little inches of these characters. And that's what made me watch it all the way through to the end. And I thought there was still even more story after it ended that I wanted it to continue, but again, I did actually follow it all the way to the end. And that's one of the few shows that I think I watched at that point in my life all the way through. I just made it a point. So again, and that was a testament to all of you guys as the talent and the writing team.
I mean, the writing team, and that's the thing. It's like we always say Jason Kadams, but it was was a staff that was just like unbelievable. And way too cool for us,
like I said, a lot of amazing talent aside from you guys came out of that. I mean, I don't even realize looking at Julie Benz and so many other people that
wild?
We're just looking back and just looking at that. Okay, so before we get into another popular TV show that you were on, we're going to do the hair thing right now.
Oh my god!
So just I'm gonna flash some of these up here, and just gonna kind of tell me what some of this was from. So
tell me what it was.
There we go, right there.
That's a wig. Okay, that's not my hair. This is
I figured.
This is like a My Fair Lady type movie of the week where I get a makeover.
Okay.
And now, did a lot of friends ask me, not having seen this, did they ask me like, oh my god, what do they make you over to look like? And I was like, they make me over to look like myself. And I start like this, and that was tough.
Awesome. Okay, so this is one we talked about a little bit. I like this here.
I thought I was in Hackers, and I wasn't,
channeling some Angelina Jolie there, and then we have this one here that's really funky.
So this is, I love how you say that, Brandon. It's true. Funky is true. So this was before the one that you just showed, and this was, I had like hair to my waist and I cut it like, this. And ironically, was it the first like Karen haircut ever? Yes. It's the Kate +8, whatever. And then from there, I was like, let's keep going. And then that's when I cut the really short, like Julius Caesar things.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool,
I dig it. A little orange there. Okay, so let's move to this one here. Bam.
Okay, so this is that same time.
Okay.
And I thought, let me dye it, let me just dye it. And that's probably why that other picture was orange. I was trying to get this out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this was a movie where I first met Julie Benz before she was on Roswell.
Okay.
And I was supposed to play a hot lesbian, and I'm not quite sure that landed.
All right. Now, this is obviously a get up, but very cool. So, bam. There we go.
Okay, I can't take any credit for this. This is my hair up. Like I had very long hair then. It was like to my waist. So they put it up and then like crimped it because I was supposed to be a pop star.
And this was the learning curve?
This is the learning curve, yes.
Yeah, I think I remember that from, yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is kind of kind of like bam, like that's a little flip there.
Okay,
What's
so this is a tough time. Okay. This is when I was growing out the hacker's haircut,
yes,
the
yes.
Julius Caesar, and didn't know what to do with sort of the mullety thing. I actually have very straight hair, so it looked I was struggling in general to try to not come off like a young man. And so I thought flipping it up was gonna, I don't know, and
yes,
so that was
feminated it. Yes,
I guess, but it's like,
Yeah.
is that better?
I'm digging it. It's working. It was that time too, because a
It was
lot
that
of
time,
talent.
sure, yeah.
I would see this
It
on like
actually
Eli.
started a lot.
Yeah, I would see it like on Eliza Dushku and a lot of different actresses at the time would have the chain and like that kind of it's kind of a punk, kind of a cool like thing there. But this is
sheer survival and just not having the tools, the tools to know how to.
Now this one here, this is interesting. Here is this school teacher Majandra.
So this was literally, I think I was pregnant at the time at Sundance.
Okay.
My very a woman I call my wife. Her movie was premiering there, and truly, I just couldn't get it together. I had like a whole outfit, and then I was like, I'm cold, I'm tired, and didn't put contacts in, and just rolled in like that.
Okay.
Like a true professional. And what a friend.
Why not? And the glasses, it's a choice. Absolutely.
They're here somewhere. Those are truly just the I need to be able to see.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
These are not these are just like my hanging out.
This is very happy. Like, is this a happy time in Mahandra's life where she's a little that thing there?
I hope so. It's so I hope I was happy with these choices. That's all I can say.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know what is happening there, and I really don't know what that facial expression is.
That's little says De Niro. So
yeah,
De Niro and Pfeiffer,
yeah.
Was it Wolf? Was that no, not Wolf?
No, God, no.
No, that was Nicholson. That was Nicholson and Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
So I like this one here.
Maybe I had just seen De Niro.
This is cool here. This is very cool.
I love that you bring this up.
I like this. This
one. Because was honestly one of my darkest days. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because I had never, this was post pregnancy. Okay. And you're like, when I bought this outfit, the woman was like, you might want to go a size higher. And I was like, how dare? And just everything, forgot to put lipstick on, just the worst of all red carpet experiences. And, no joke, haunts me till this day. I thought about this picture today.
I think you look fantastic, but I mean,
you can't
you never know. You never know what's going on inside one. So
just don't forget your lipstick.
Well, you didn't do too much, so there you go. Sometimes it's a little. And this final one here is this a little more indicative of close to now, or what is this?
Yeah, so this was 2 years ago in Paris. For a B&T
very cool
premiere in Paris. Time of my life. Honestly, I just want to go back to that.
Awesome.
You can tell.
Yeah, you still got the glasses there. Yes, always have them.
Those are some
ready. Yes, got them ready. No, I'm just saying you're always ready for whatever.
But there could be prescription.
Yeah, I'm not that together, but yeah. No, this awesome. Ironically, that picture where I look the most upset was the happiest time.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. And there was a few others too, but they just didn't come out quality wise. But that was fun there because that was my question because you're in so many different movies over time. Did you make it a conscious effort to kind of change up depending on what the role was, or was it just the time in your life where it felt what your hairstyle was?
Well, it's funny. The majority of all of those was just growing out the Karen haircut, which was a tough battle. I don't know. We didn't understand how to take a supplement back then and kind of speed it up. But yeah, I would say in general, I like to just I'm okay, I'll just do. I think it's kind of great to look maybe like garbage or whatever the character calls for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
it adds to it. I always say like some of the best actors, whether you want to call them characters or not, the ones you lose yourself in when you watch Gary Oldman or you watch certain people, and you almost forget that it's them because you're watching him as a Rasta in True Romance, and then you're watching him as a former president or something else, and it's like you lose yourself. Same with Johnny Depp and certain people. Like earlier in his career, you lost yourself in some of these characters, and it's the same with you. I watched in some of these when you're younger, you got these glasses, and then looking at Zeus and Roxanne when you're younger, it's such a different, and then the kind of the punk phase of there was kind of that, like you said, the hacker's hair, and that kind of played different versions of it through RSVP and different films of yours like that. We'll look a little bit more later, but I think it always adds to the character to just give a little something different.
Totally, and I have this like. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm happy about it, but it definitely upsets some people. But where it's like just a few changes, it can look like a whole other person, and I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have a question. So is there? So we're gonna get into Baron Toluca shortly, but was there ever a pilot? I mean, how many pilots have you done?
Gosh, like that didn't go.
Yeah. And
2.
So more than one. All right. So was there one that you expected to possibly get picked up, or were you one that you really wish did get picked up more than any other?
Yeah, I mean, I've only done 2, and the one that I really, not to say that I didn't want the other one to get picked up, but I did not want the other one to get picked up. As I was making it, I was like, never mind. But the one that I was really bummed was the Office spinoff. It was called The Farm, and it was with Dwight Schrute, and that was a bummer. So they made it an episode, but it was like a full pilot, and it was very touching, and that was definitely, what a bummer, R.I.P. Schrute Farms.
Yes.
The second person's out there crying somewhere, but hey, who cares? My
son would have loved that. Yeah.
That second one.
So that process there with the Office, was that a good one? That what you did? I know you did a little bit of that. Was that a good opportunity, like for you, and at that point of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about opportunity. It was just so fun. Like it was the crew from The Office, but it was a proper, like its own, meant to be its own thing. And it was Paul.
Is that this year?
Yeah, exactly. And so that was like a trip to have to do the whole like Office look into the camera.
See, that's the scene that I saw. Yeah, I saw the clip of that scene.
Yeah, and I played like Dwight's little sister, who is much more, much less Dwight-like. Yeah. And then there's Thomas Middleditch, who is the third sibling. And it was just really, I mean, a lovely set. And Rainn Wilson is like such a special person. I was really bummed to just like not have the opportunity to like learn, I'm sure what I would learn, just all those people. It was really great. But, we get over it.
Oh, yeah.
A tear coming down.
So what is Majandra's process? Do you a lot of people, some people are memorization, some people are like heavy, some people go with the flow when they get a script or whatever. What do you, and also one of the favorite questions that I've gotten over my podcast career is that, do you ever deal with anxiety or anything before you go on set, whether you're either going on stage to perform or going on a set or whatever? Does that ever hit you, or are you kind of immune to that this far into your career?
Well, I mean, if it's to be in a role, like
no.
that, there's, I was never like the kind of kid that was good at sort of like drawing attention and like holding a crowd's, but the only reason it works for me is because I can like get kind of lost in the sauce of like just fantasy land. So that helps a lot with anxiety. But if I had to get up on a stage and like talk, I would literally just like shit on the floor, but yeah, I mean, there's anxiety for sure, a little bit, but it's just like something, you know, when you just get on set and you're like, oh, I've done this so many times, and like, oh, this feels so natural. And then as far as the process, depends on the writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All righty. So I'm going to rapid fire. This is the thing that people seem to like. It's kind of similar to what I just did with your hair, but I picked up a few picks from different things you've done. Just give a few words about what comes to your mind when you see some of these different depictions. So we're going to start with this one here.
So scared.
Bam.
Oh, what comes to mind? Just Holly Goldberg Sloan.
Yes.
Linda Hamilton. I mean, it's just
Yes.
one of the greatest times.
Secret. Yes. Okay. Right here, Reeseville. What's happening here?
Oh my gosh. Just holy crap. I was sworn up and down if I did this movie, they weren't going to bust out a lot of blood. This is day one, blood thrown all over me. Oh no, I'm in an actual slasher.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You do not look happy right here. So what's going on here?
This is oh my gosh, this is the funnest bunch to work with, and we're in deep construction, and like I don't have to be at home in construction. I am on set having fun and having to play a kind of beleaguered wife.
Awesome. All right, what's going on right here with?
Oh my god, I mean the joy that I feel. Raven Simone, I will share floss with her any day.
Awesome. And E from Entourage here. What's going on here?
Oh my god. Me like hiding an actual baby still in my belly, and just where like some of my most profound friendships were made.
And this was Friends with
Better Lives.
Okay, I was going to say Better Lives. Okay, I'm going to say Benefit. And this here with another guest of ours at Atlantic City Celebrity Convention. But what is this project here?
So this is something where we did a short for a friend, and like just coerced. So Nick and I did this short for a friend's husband. It was also a friend. And we convinced our friend Paul, not an actor, to play a dead body. And that's us, I think, just like abusing his dead body, even though that's right.
All right. What is this here with the fire?
This is drama. Okay. This is feelings. This is my boyfriend's dead. And then he's not dead. It's a web of lies. This is a movie of the week.
Yes, Web of Lies. And finally, this awesomeness here. What is this?
This is the hot lesbian in the movie where I don't know that I quite pulled it off enough, but I am pulling it off a little bit better here. And it just makes me think Coolio, who was in it, okay?
Yes.
I just think Gangster's Paradise, very excited. Julie Benz, Tom Arnold, you know, Simon Rex, and Can You See My Vagina? That's what I think.
This is the scary movie.
Is this what we're going to get us flagged?
This is the scary movie. No, this is Shriek If I Know What You Did Last Summer or something like that.
Love that.
Exactly.
There we go.
Fun times.
There you go. That was awesome. All right. Next up, Tim.
Tim's like, I'm out.
No, it's good. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, we can't thank you enough for coming on. We really, before you leave, we'll ask for some words of wisdom, Brandon. But listen, Majandra, we're so excited to have you. We're excited to have the rest of the bunch. We're going to have over 50 celebrities there. It's going to be a great time on the pier, over the ocean, in Atlantic City in the summer. The boardwalk's right there. There's going to be, there's going to be tens of thousands of people on the boardwalk, and it's going to be a fun time. Looking forward to meeting you, seriously. And Brendan, you want to go ahead with the last question?
No, well, I just want to ask real quick. I know we want to get you out of here, but I want to ask a little bit about this right here, just because we're gonna have a screening.
Oh, jeez.
So I want to,
So my bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm fired.
So
Trauma, the things I've had to see.
That's all right. So tell us a little bit about this. Is called a spiritual successor of Roswell. So tell us what that means to you and Brandon with that quote.
So, I mean, basically what it is in a weird sort of kismet thing, Brendan and I had very much, we're older, we've gone in separate ways, and we both had this sort of feeling of, God, I loved Roswell. I loved the sort of spirit of that, and just the spirit of like Michael and Maria and that world, the world that it encompassed, the world of sci-fi, but done in that way. And I had been working on a pilot that I was trying to sell and then kind of come to Brendan with offer, just give him an offer to do it. And he called and said, just out of the blue, and was like, I was thinking we should write something together, blah, blah, blah. And so this, came from that. And basically what it is that it's about, it's about two actors that were on a beloved sci-fi show that now find themselves in sort of mysterious circumstances that mimic. Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, it's been the most incredible experience. Like we didn't think, we could never imagine, but during the pandemic, we were like, let's see if we can crowdfund it. And we just like met our goal in like record time. It was wild. And we shot a pilot, and we had our entire like posse there working, like all our Roswell people like working with us. And it was like meeting like the fans and everyone that I feel like you guys have probably come into contact with. And it's just been the most magical experience. And, we like continue to persevere. There's been a strike, there's been a pandemic, there's been but it's like the project that keeps going. And it's just like, it's such a delight. It's like, it's getting to live those times again.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah.
We're excited to see it, and we're excited to, we'll be screening it on Friday night, the 26th, sorry, July 26th. We'll be screening it. And hopefully, we'll be posting the tickets for that separately, probably about a week before the event. So stay tuned for that, people. But someone's saying here that I guess there's B&T merch that's out there.
And they have some cool merch. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect timing, Sandra.
Perfect timing.
There it is. Perfect timing. Hopefully we get some of that in AC, because I need a Scully right there. That's dope.
Oh, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the final question, Majandra, is I always ask everybody a little bit of words of wisdom for a lot of people watch. They're actors, filmmakers, musicians out here. Like a little bit words of wisdom for those people that are trying to get into it, that might be starting or kind of having a rough time getting their feet, like getting their feet settled in it. For anybody who's watching.
Yeah, I would just say you're not gonna be like the normal, Sally or Steve or whatever. No offense to the Sallys and Steves out there. That was just examples. But meaning there's going to be a lot of times where, you feel like a little bit of a weirdo, like you're doing a weird thing, like it's not the smart move and it's not the whatever. And that's just part of the process. That's what makes you kind of, who you are, an artist and resilient. And we don't care. We just want to do what we love to do. And we'll sleep anywhere, eat whatever, just as long as we get to do it. And that's what is going to always, differentiate you from, your khaki pant wearing friend who's like, what is this instability? Just smile, ignore it, and keep doing what you like doing.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. This actress, there she is right there. Also, amazing musician. We didn't get to talk to as much about her music, but please go check out some of her music. I love Oil and Water and a lot of her music. Go check it out online. You can find it on Spotify and other places, on her YouTube channel. Thank you, Majandra Delfino, for joining us tonight. We look forward to
so much.
meeting you at the Atlantic City Celebrity Convention.
I'm so excited. We're all so excited. Can't wait.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. And again, Thank you to this lovely actress, musician here for spending some time with us tonight. Thank you, Majandra. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.